Urgent recall alert. If you bought Blackstone Parmesan Ranch seasoning at Walmart, stop and check the bottle now. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration says 3 specific lots are being voluntarily recalled because they may be contaminated with Salmonella. This is not a routine notice. It is a public health warning meant to keep a potentially dangerous product out of kitchens, out of meal prep, and away from families who may not realize there is a problem. Here is the key point right away. The recall involves Blackstone Products of Providence, Utah, and the product is Blackstone Parmesan Ranch seasoning, 7.3 ounces, product number 4106. The affected bottles were sold nationwide, but according to the FDA notice, they were distributed exclusively through Walmart stores and through the Blackstone Products website. So if this seasoning came into your home, there is a clear reason to take a closer look. Only 3 lots are included in this recall. They are Lot 25-43282 with a best if used by date of July 2027, Lot 2025-46172 with a best if used by date of August 5th, 2027, and Lot 22-6-751 with a best if used by date of August 12th, 2027. If your bottle does not match one of those lot numbers and dates, it is not part of this specific recall. That detail matters because this is a targeted recall, not a blanket warning about every bottle on the shelf. The lot code and best if used by date are located on the bottom of the package. That makes this one of those rare safety checks you can do in seconds. Pick up the bottle, flip it over, and read the numbers carefully. If the code and date match one of the recalled lots, do not use it. Do not taste it. Do not set it aside and forget about it. Dispose of it right away. So why is this recall serious? Because of Salmonella, a bacteria that can cause significant foodborne illness. In plain language, Salmonella can make people very sick after they eat contaminated food. Symptoms often include fever, diarrhea, nausea, vomiting, and stomach pain. In some cases, the diarrhea can be bloody. Illness typically begins anywhere from 6 hours to 6 days after exposure, and it often lasts 4 to 7 days. For many healthy adults, Salmonella may pass after several rough days. But for some people, it can be much more dangerous. The FDA says Salmonella can cause serious and sometimes fatal infections in young children, frail or elderly people, and others with weakened immune systems. That means babies, grandparents, people receiving cancer treatment, transplant patients, and anyone with a compromised immune system have to be especially careful. And there is another reason health officials treat Salmonella warnings so seriously. In rare cases, the bacteria can leave the digestive system and enter the bloodstream. When that happens, the illness can become severe very quickly. It can lead to arterial infections, endocarditis, or arthritis. Those outcomes are rare, but they are exactly why a simple seasoning recall is not something to shrug off. Food safety alerts are designed to stop a small problem before it becomes a medical emergency. This recall is also being described as precautionary, which matters. Blackstone says the action is linked to a California Dairies Inc. powdered milk recall for potential Salmonella contamination. That ingredient was supplied to a third-party manufacturer and used in the seasoning. In other words, one contaminated ingredient can move through a supply chain and show up in a finished product many consumers would never suspect. That is why official recall notices are so important. They often reveal the ripple effects that are easy to miss if you only look at the product on your own shelf. The good news is that, as of the FDA posting, no illnesses had been reported in connection with the recalled seasoning. That is exactly what a fast recall is supposed to accomplish. It is meant to prevent exposure before people get sick. So while this alert is urgent, it is also reassuring in one important way. Consumers are being warned early, before the situation becomes worse. If you have the bottle, take a calm, careful look. Check the front label for Blackstone Parmesan Ranch, 7.3 ounces, product 42106. Then turn it over and compare the bottom of the package with the recalled lot numbers and dates. If it matches, the next step is simple. Do not consume it. Dispose of it immediately. If it has already been opened, make sure it does not get used in tonight's dinner, tomorrow's meal prep, or a family gathering later in the week. If you are not sure whether your bottle is affected, the safest move is to verify it against the official recall notice rather than guessing. That is especially important because seasoning bottles can sit in pantries for a long time, and packaging may look nearly identical from one lot to the next. A label can seem familiar and still be wrong. The lot code is what tells the story. For consumers who rely on Walmart for everyday groceries, this is also a reminder that recalls can hit ordinary pantry items, not just fresh produce or meat. A dry seasoning blend feels harmless. It sits unopened for months. It is easy to forget. But food safety risks do not depend on how shelf-stable something looks. They depend on what happened during manufacturing, testing, and sourcing. That is why this recall deserves attention, even if you feel fine, and even if no one in your household has gotten sick. Prevention is the goal here. A warning today can save someone from a very unpleasant or even dangerous illness later. And if someone in your home is young, older, pregnant, or immunocompromised, the stakes are even higher. If you bought the seasoning and need more information, Blackstone Products has provided a consumer number at 1-888-879-460, available from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. But for most viewers, the immediate next step is already clear. Check the bottom of the bottle. Match the lot number and best if used by date. And if it matches one of the recalled lots, throw it away. This is how food recalls protect the public. They turn a hidden risk into a visible warning. They give families a chance to act before anyone gets hurt. And in a case like this, where Salmonella can cause serious illness and can be especially dangerous for vulnerable people, that warning matters. So here is the takeaway. A nationwide recall is underway for Blackstone Parmesan Ranch seasoning sold through Walmart and the Blackstone website. 3 lots are affected. The contamination concern is Salmonella. And the safest response is to check your pantry today, confirm the code, and remove any affected bottle immediately. Check your pantry today and verify the official recall details.